Hey there, Purple81 here. This video is going to be going over something that I haven't really talked about in quite some time. I was going through some of my videos and I realized that most of the videos I've done for probably the past, maybe 7-8 months, they've all kind of been more towards people that have been either prepping or been following this type of stuff or been part of this community for some time now. And I realized that there's, just like I did when I first started out, I was really overwhelmed by all the information that's out there. It's mind-boggling at first because you just don't know where to start. If you're somebody who's just getting into this stuff, maybe you're somebody who sits behind a desk all day for work and has never gone camping before, has no knowledge of anything outdoors. Stepping into this world is going to be pretty overwhelming, and you're not even going to have any idea of where to start. So I figured best thing for me to do is make kind of like a checklist for someone who's starting out. If they find this video on items that they should have from somebody who's been doing this for a few years and has got a lot of experience under their belt and has a lot of knowledge in all of this type of gear. So what I did is I basically broke down a typical backpack go bag setup. So everything in here, in my opinion, granted there are some stuff in here that are kind of not luxury items, but there's stuff that's probably going to be put towards the back of the list as far as like when you're purchasing it. Not quite as much of a priority. But in my opinion, everything that you have that's going to be on this list and that you're going to have in your pack are pretty much a necessity for long-term survival, basically. And most of this is, or I should say all of it really, is going to be budget conscious. It's not going to be top-of-the-line gear or a price. It's going to just be one of those items. I'm not going to get into specifics here. When I say something like, say, backpack or a fire starter, I'm not going to say Max Munition Vulture 2 backpack or Blast Match fire starter. Just, sorry about that, there's some traffic going by here. Just get one of those items. And the reason why I say that is because there's so many different models and makes of every one of these items, and not one item is going to work best for each person. That's going to depend on the individual and their environment and their situation. So basically what this is go grab a piece of paper so you don't have to keep replaying the video. You can pause it, write the stuff down. Make a list of all these items, and then what you need to do is for every single item, just start Googling it or searching through YouTube and start watching a few videos on each item to try to get like a rough idea of what's out there and prices on things and what the reviews are on the different items. And that's going to be key for those of you who are just starting out in this is do your homework. Research the crap out of every single item that you buy. Now, if you can't afford to be real picky about what you get, you've only got X amount of dollars to spend on each item, fine. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Go get what you can afford. If it's a backpack and you can only afford to go to Walmart and get, like a high school kid's backpack, that is better than nothing. So don't hesitate to go do that if that's all you can afford. If you can only afford to spend 20 bucks on a backpack, go get that $20 backpack. If you can only afford to spend $100 for the gear that you put in that backpack, go spend that $100 on the gear. You're going to be 10 times more better off and more prepared and more ready to take care of your loved ones than somebody who's got $5,000 to spend on that backpack but never does it. So that's a pretty easy point to make. I'm just going to go ahead and get into this because I don't want to babble too long. Like I was talking, get yourself a backpack. You got to have something to put all this stuff in. I've got 40 bucks on that. Like I said, that amount of money is going to vary. I think that's actually what I paid for this. I got a really good deal on it. This is an Alice pack, if you don't know, by the way. This is military surplus. You can find it in a lot of different places. Excellent bang for the buck. Get yourself a cook set. I've got $5 on that. You can find them at Walmart. The little metal round ones. I can get them normally made out of like stainless steel. Get yourself a cook set. Get yourself a water bottle or a canteen. I've got $5 on that. Preferably something that's metal. The reason I say that is because you can use that to boil your water to sanitize it. Look up a couple videos on water sanitation out in the field. There's lots of different methods for that. You don't have to have steel for that. Knives, I've got $70 on that. In my opinion, you need to have two. You need to have one larger fixed blade knife for survival type, wood processing, that kind of thing. Look up some videos on that. You need a smaller knife for smaller tasks. Preferably smaller fixed blade, but you can use a folder. Get yourself a tarp. I've got $10 on that. You can use that for shelter. A lot of different uses for it. You need yourself a chunk of 550 cord, or some sort of cordage, heavy duty cordage. I've got $10 on that. Get yourself a fire starter. Preferably not the magnesium block ones. Get the ones that are just the rod type, like Blast Match. Just look up a video on that. You'll see the type that I'm talking about. It doesn't necessarily have to be Blast Match. I've got $15 on that. Get yourself a rifle. Now I put $100 on that, and obviously that's going to be for a Mosin Nagant. If you have more money to spend on something like, say, an AK or something like that, more power to you. But like I said, this is all budget conscious. So $100, they're reliable, they're super cheap, they're accurate, they've got a lot of stopping power. Ammo. Last time I checked, they were like $8.50 for a box of 20. Get as much as you think that you can carry on your person. I just put $50. Get yourself at least 100 rounds of it or so. At least that you can carry on your person. Cleaning kit, $10. The rifle should come with its own cleaning kit, but you're going to also need something that has ammonia in it to clean the corrosive properties of the ammo once it's fired to the weapon. Windex has ammonia in it. Get something that you can carry, either Windex or something like that, just even if it's diluted ammonia, in order to clean and neutralize the corrosive agents out of the ammo. Look up some videos on that. You'll more understand what I'm talking about once you watch something on it. $10 on that. Sleeping bag, $40. If you're in a cold environment or one that gets cold, you're obviously going to need something to keep yourself warm. Flashlight, $20. Gotta have a flashlight, self-explanatory there. Fishing kit, $20. You're going to need something to be able to fish with. My opinion, don't buy something that's already pre-made, because normally they put stuff in there that you don't necessarily need, and it's poor quality. Buy a couple things individually, put yourself one together. You're probably going to have higher quality stuff on there that's going to be better suited for your environment and what type of fish that you have in your environment. Sorry, I know I'm going kind of fast here. If you need to pause it periodically, go ahead. I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as I can, because there's a lot of stuff to cover. Trapping kit for squirrels, rabbits, small game. That's going to basically consist of some small gauged wire and some sort of bait, like peanut butter or something like that. Look up some videos on how to do that, how to trap. There's lots of books out there. Survival books normally have a lot of stuff in there. The SAS survival books I know has that. I've got a couple Ranger books that have it in it. $10 on that. It's pretty cheap. You just basically need the wire, the bait, something to cut the wire with. Pair of pants, $30. You're gonna need something that's gonna be durable. Preferably something that's heavily nylon, not cotton. You don't want something that's like sweatpants out there. You need something like military camo pants. Get the surplus ones. Those are primarily nylon. They got ripstop in them. They're going to hold up. There's a lot of aftermarket companies that make that. 511. Lots of different manufacturers out there. Shirt, same thing. $25 on that. They go up. Just get something that's going to be durable. Even if it's something that's made by like Dickies, those are durable. Preferably something that's heavily nylon. Don't get cotton, or at least has a high percentage of cotton in it. Cotton kills. Especially in cold weather, you're going to need something that's going to be able to wick that moisture away from your body. It's not going to chill your body. You're asking for all kinds of trouble if you're wearing cotton in cold environment, if you start to sweat. Okay, boots. I've got $50 on that. You need a durable pair, long-lasting pair of footwear. Something that's going to hold up against a lot of abuse. Again, military surplus, I keep going back to that because you can find it cheap. The stuff's made to last. It may not be the most comfortable thing in the world. You're probably going to get some blisters for a while, but your feet will toughen up. Those old-style GI leather boots, I think you can find them even cheaper than $50. They work. I used them for years. They'll work. Let me see. Socks. Again, wool or nylon. No cotton. Something that's going to be able to dry out easily. Get yourself a decent belt. Something nylon and leather. Something that's not going to have a buckle that's going to fail on you. Get something that's simple. Underwear, same thing. Something nylon. Get something that's more athletic. Don't get something like cotton boxers. Get something that's going to, pardon my crudeness here for the ladies that are watching, get something that's going to hold your junk in place. You're not going to be flailing around. You're going to get rubbed raw, so forth. Anybody who's been in the military knows what I'm talking about. First aid kit, $15. Same thing goes with the fishing kit. Don't buy one of those cheapy, do it if you can, if you don't have a choice, but if you can help it, get some stuff that's more trauma-oriented. What I mean by that is don't get one that has 50 Band-Aids in it and some Neosporin. That's not going to do you any bit of good if you get a laceration. Get something that, buy yourself one of those little things, Quick Clot. Walmart sells them for, I think, like $10. Get you something like that. Get you some sort of pressure bandage. You can find them online. You can find them at military surplus places. Something that's going to be able to handle some trauma. If you get a heavy laceration, 50 Band-Aids is not going to do you any bit of good. You're going to bleed out. That's all the items on the list. Like I said, if you need to go back, because I went kind of quick on this, just write this stuff down. Go get each one of these items and try to put it together. Now, and like I said, even if it's not, the most expensive, highest quality, piece of gear for, your fire starter or, let me see, your pair of pants even. That's all right. And the reason why I say that is you may look at it as kind of like a waste of money if you're buying like this cheap gear just to get the kit together, but it's not. If you do that, you're going to be able to get your kit together quicker than if you're buying real expensive stuff. Unless you got the money to do that, but most people don't. So buy the less expensive gear, get your kit put together. Once that kit is put together, then you can slowly start to piece out things for more expensive, higher quality items. Now, the best thing for you to do, honestly, in my opinion, is get your kit together. Once that's put together, take it out and use it. Field test all this stuff. Go on a camping trip. Go on a hiking trip. Use all of it. See what things work, what things don't, what the weaknesses and strengths are for each piece of the kit. Once you do that, then you're going to be able to see what's going to work best for you for your situation and your environment, because it's going to vary. That's the best way to do it, through use. And you may think it's kind of like a waste of money to do it this way, but it's not really. Because like most people, when they do, it's inevitable for you to do this. It's going to happen. Just like I've got different packs outloaded with a bunch of stuff that is redundant that I don't use anymore. And it's not a waste. The reason why I say that is because if you have family members, you have friends, you have, any loved ones or whatever, when the shit hits a fan and you need to grab this bug out bag and get out the door, if you have an extra pack that's already loaded out with all of this crap in it, that's just sitting there somewhere in a closet or something, you can grab your pack, throw it on, grab that pack, give it to your wife. Now she's outfitted too. So if you have a piece of kit that has a failure, or you lose it, or what have you, you've got a backup. It may not be the best backup, but at least you got a backup. So you kind of see where I'm going with that. Now, the rough price estimate that I put on all this stuff, this comes out to $560. Now that may sound like a hell of a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, especially if you're somebody who doesn't have, a bunch of extra cash to be thrown around on this. But if you spend $25 a week trying to bit by bit chip away at this, you'll have it in 5.5 months. You'll have the whole kit. You'll have all that in there. And believe it or not, there's not a whole lot more in this as far as items-wise that I carry. Now, granted, there's a lot more expensive shit that I've got in my actual go bag, but you'll get there eventually. If you've got $50 you can put towards this, you'll have it in a couple months. And if you've got dual income, say you and your spouse are doing this, do it at the same time. Both of you take $25 out of your paycheck each week, or $50 if you can do it, or however much you can throw at it. If you can bang this out in 2-3 weeks, more power to you. So that way you both have your own gear going on. But I'm sure going to get like a lot of questions on this. if you have questions about something maybe you've seen, now keep in mind this is geared towards people who are just starting. And like I said, I know it can be overwhelming, but if you have a question, feel free to leave it. I'll do my best to answer it. If it's something that I haven't seen before, I'll try to get an answer for you. Or you've got a question about something I said. Maybe I wasn't being clear on, or I missed something for you. Feel free to watch it, or I'm sorry, leave it, and I'll get back to you. And as always, thanks for watching. Purple Marine 81 out.